Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another one of our K&K Sports Show's YouTube Shorts. As usual, I am joined by my good buddy Kurt Valenti. Uh, I am the Fraud Slayer, and we are joined by our special guest, New York Giants fan, and our very own Mr. Edward Siciliano. We all know him as Sis. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Very good. And you?
Doing good. Kurt, how are you today?
Very good, very good. We're
Today's YouTube short is we're going to talk about the New York Giants 2020 outlook. We're going to throw a little predictions out there, what their offense and defense look like, and their coaching staff. And we're going to do this, short, sweet, might be bitter. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Uh, that being said, I'm going to put our guest on the spot and ask him what he thinks about 2020's coaching staff.
oh, this can get ugly, boys.
Starting with the head coach.
Well, anybody that knows me knows I never backpedal. And my only disappointment with the Giants is hiring a coach that has absolutely, positively no experience either as a defense or offensive coordinator. That's my first disappointment with the Giants. I understand them bringing in Jason Garrett because basically, in my head, he'll be the head coach. Judge will be the head coach in name, and
There you go, sis.
Garrett will be the real head coach. And I think anybody that's realistic is going to understand that. I'm not looking for a big season, and not just because I'm not too high on Judge. You got to give him a chance. I get it, but our offense is definitely better than our defense, and I think that's going to be the problem with the Giants this year. Their defense. I really believe that. Now I just saw the other day, this kid Jones bulked up to 230 pounds. That's a big jump to where he was last year at 210. Now, is that going to affect, his escaping out of the pocket, his running around? Because the kid is definitely great at doing this. So I think there's a lot of unanswered questions, I guess is the best way to put it,
Good point.
as far as the New York Giants go this year.
Good point. So I'm going to just say I'm going to give Judge a chance. Only because we got the coaching staff that can, I hope, aren't the egos. I hope they give him pointers. Garrett, even though Freddie Kitchens is not a favorite, did not belong being a head coach, he has experience as a head coach. So if they can help Judge out in any way, maybe he will surprise us as a head coach. So I'm going to see how it goes a couple games into the season, and I'm going to see if he's lost me or if, hey, maybe they found lightning in a bottle with a coach that should have been a head coach in the past. So I'll just see. Like I'm gonna hold off a few weeks into the season before I judge on Judge. So no pun intended, and go from there. Kurt, what are your thoughts?
I totally agree with sis. I'm even going to go one little further. I think that Jason Garrett. I honestly think the Giants wanted Jason Garrett as their head coach, but there's no way they could have hired him this year with all the scrutiny with Dallas, and the media would destroy him. But I think that, like they're saying, like they're going to give Judge a chance. Listen, if the Giants go 12-4, he's going to keep his job. But I think in the back of their head, sis, they already say they have their next head coach, and that's Jason Garrett. I do.
Well, I think, you just brought up a great point. If they would have just named Garrett the head coach out of the gate, you would have had a major uprising. That's a great point.
Yep. But I
Great
think, and they like you guys both said, they're going to give him a chance. And hey, but I think there's a plan that says, listen, we have faith in Garrett. So if things go bad with Judge, whether it's next year or 2 years, then Garrett gets the team.
I will say this: we had a guest on with us on our K Sports Show, Giants wide receiver Stephen Baker, and we brought up head coach and Bill Parcells, some stories he shared there. Please go back and watch that video. A lot of fun. But he also brought up the year that Sims and Hostetler had a competition, and Ray Hanley and Sis's buddy Ray Hanley, no pun, his face like he shook his head when we said Ray Hanley. He went like this. So I get what you're saying, Kurt and Sis. I'm personally going to give the guy a chance. I have to. He's going to be on my head coach of my team. But I 100% get what you're saying, because when we mentioned Ray Hanley to Stephen Baker, he went like this.
Yep. Now, I have one more for Mr. Sis.
And we all know what Ray Hanley did to the Giants.
Do you think it helps or hurts? Because Belichick's tree, when people have become head coaches, they have not worked out under Bill Belichick. But do you give him a little hope because he's been under Belichick, or you think in the long run that's going to hurt him just because everyone's failed pretty much as a head coach?
No, you're reading my mind, because that's the next thing I was going to bring up. They all seem to do great when they're with New England and they're with Belichick, but as soon as the apron strings are cut, they don't cut it. And again, that's the other side of the coin with me. That's going to be another minus, another checkbox in Mr. Judge's corner. He has not been successful letting assistant coaches go and them guys becoming, head football coaches in the NFL. We can't even name one.
No.
We can't.
No.
Sis, let me ask you. If the Giants' defense turns out to be a little better, I'm not saying taking leaps and bounds better than last year. The Giants' defense can be a little better than they were last year. And can the Giants' offense take that leap and bound, and the Giants can surprise in the NFC, at least in the NFC East this year? Do you think the Giants defense can take that leap, or the Giants offense take huge strides and carry the defense to maybe an NFC East wild card or a playoff push in the East?
This is a two-part question for you, Kenny. Right now, in your opinion, where is the Giants' weakness?
Defense.
Where?
Front seven.
No, secondary. Now, going back.
I don't think they are, though, in the secondary.
Okay. That's
Go ahead. I'll let you give your points out, and then I'll explain why I don't think they are.
My point is this. I think their secondary can be thrown on with ease. Now, going to your second point, and I agree with you, are the Giants going to have to score more than 40 points per game because of that secondary to keep up with whoever they're playing? And I think the answer to that is, yeah, I really do. And that's where I think the Giants are going to be in trouble.
All right, so I got a great point for both of you, Sis, because you just took my next question. You just took it, okay?
All right.
I think, and I'm going to ask you this as a coach. Obviously, we all agree the problem with the Giants is their defense, right? We all three agree with that.
Right.
So as a coach, I think you can go and say, okay, I'm going to either do two things. One, I'm just going to have to try to outscore people, and I'm going to be giving up 35 points a game. Or two, the Giants have built the offensive line. The Giants' best player is Saquon Barkley. Do you go back and say, we're going to play old school style and we're going to have to basically cover up for our defense and shorten the games and run the ball? See, that's the thing. It's hard in the league because pretty much the whole NFL is going, we're just going to try to beat you 40-35. But if you're the coach, Sis, and because I agree, I think your problem is the defense. Are you going to build the team and say, we're going to have to try to score 40, air it out, throw the ball, or are you going to go and say, screw it. You know what? We built the offensive line. We got Barkley. I'm going to run this kid 35 times a game, shorten the game, and try to win that way. If you were in charge of the Giants, which way would you go?
Okay, that's a great point. Being that I'm old school, I would definitely try to control the game with Barkley. But here's the problem. You both of you guys know this. You're very educated as far as the NFL goes. The league right now, AFC, NFC, whatever, it's become a passing league. So everybody is scoring in 30 seconds or whatever you want to call it. So getting back to my original thought, the Giants are going to have to score, in my opinion. They're not going to win 20-17. They're going to have to score 30 to 40 points a game to be competitive because they got some rough teams on their schedule.
Yep.
And again, in this day and age, okay, you're asking me if I was the head coach, what I would do. I think it would be very difficult to try to control the game for that amount of time with Barkley or whoever else you got.
Right.
It's
and it's so much pressure on your defense now.
No question.
It's so much on your defense. It's hard because, like you're saying, and the next thing is, like, do you guys feel like the Giants are, like the Saints, where, hey, we'll get in shootouts every week? Do you guys think the Giants have that fire? Kenny, I'll ask you, do you think the Giants have that firepower offensively to average 30 a game? Because it might take that. That's what you guys are probably going to, with your defense.
If everybody stayed, and it's a big if everybody stayed healthy all year, Shepard and Ingram are injury prone. They stayed healthy all year, yeah. But if you lose one of them, no.
Sis, what do you think? How do you build?
Well,
can you guys do it, you think?
Well, he just nailed it. With Ingram and the other kid, they're hurt every year. So, the odds of them not getting hurt for 16 games is really slim to none. We don't really have great wide receivers anymore. We don't.
Sis, are you sold on? Oh, go ahead, Kenny. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I just want to backtrack. And all due respect, I disagree with our weakness on defense, Sis. I think our weakness is up front. We picked up Bradbury from Carolina as our number one corner, who had to go and face Julio Jones twice a year and Michael Thomas twice a year and DJ Moore twice a year. Now he's coming into the NFC East. Amari Cooper is the best he's going to see. He's good. But then he's got Tyler McLaurin from the Redskins and Alshon Jeffrey or an aging Deshaun Jackson at Philly. So I think right there we got a good number one corner, at least for our division. Picking up Xavier McKinney in the draft, steal of the draft. I don't Gettleman stepped in, what?
Yeah. I mean, the kid from Alabama is legit. I agree.
What he's going to do, Sis, he's going to free Julius Peppers to spread out more in the field where he's more productive. So I think secondary is going to be a little better. All due respect, I disagree with you on that. I do think our weakness is still up front, getting to the quarterback, which is going to hurt because if you give somebody 5 seconds, anybody's going to get open in the NFL.
The biggest weakness overall on that defense, if you go back to last year, the tackling was horrendous. It was not, to me, that was not NFL standard defense like we're used to the old Giant teams, back in the day. Their tackling is atrocious for NFL players. That's just my opinion. And I watched every game last year, and I'm not sure if I'll be doing that this year.
Guys, we got a minute left. I want one more question real quick for Sis. Kenny, you take it.
Go ahead.
All right, Sis, my question. Saquon Barkley, you guys took him, I believe it was the second pick of the draft 2 years ago. All right. Life expectancy for a running back in the NFL, what is it, like 3 to 5 years?
5 years.
Okay. My point is, and it's very hard for a running back to get a second contract because now you're talking about playing, into your 8th and 9th year.
Right.
Do you just turn, and I guess this was my question for you, do you just turn the offense to him and say, listen, we're going to use this kid. If for the next 3 years, we're going to run this kid into the ground because I don't know if we're going to sign him again, but he's our best player and I don't want to lose what we have. Do you just basically, are you looking for a 10-year career with him or are you just going and saying, listen, if I get 3 good ones, I get 3 good ones?
Well, first of all, if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm playing the Giants, my game plan right out of the gate is going to be to stop Saquon Barkley and say, okay, beat us, let Jones beat us passing.
Right. And
but to answer your question, run them into the ground.
right, I agree with you. I totally agree.
Yeah.
My last question, and I agree with both of you guys there too with Barkley. My last quick question for Sis is, if Daniel Jones has a mediocre year, meaning he doesn't progress, he stays right around the same, or regresses a little bit, are you looking to get a quarterback in next year's draft, or are you still giving Daniel Jones a chance? Meaning looking for a quarterback in free agency, uh, Aaron Rodgers may be available through a trade, or do you look for somebody in the draft, or do you stick with Daniel Jones?
I think personally the kid's legit. So that being said, we're going to have to see, how the season plays out to answer your question. I mean, if they go 6-10,
Right.
then now you have an argument. You know what I mean?
6-10, though, with the offensive stats, I think I keep him, Sis. 6-10 with 20 interceptions and 20 touchdowns, like a Jameis Winston.
Right.
I'm looking for another quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No question.
He's got to stop fumbling. If he has the stats, if he has 25 to 30 touchdowns and 8 to 10 interceptions, that's a big improvement from year one. I'm all in on Daniel Jones for our future.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else, guys?
That's it.
That's it. And that's it.
We'll do more of our further evaluation later once closer to the football season with records and predictions. But we just wanted to get Sis's little opinion.
More evaluations with Sis. We'll bring Sis in when the Giants are 6-0, and we'll have them reevaluate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. The Giants come out of the gate 6-0. When you come up here, we'll go to any restaurant in New Jersey, and it'll be my treat. If they come out of the gate 6-0,
that's on you.
If they come out of the gate 3-3, you should buy me dinner.
All right, fair enough.
There you go.
On behalf of Kurt Valenti and our very special guest Eddie Siciliano, I am the Fraud Slayer. Sports Show YouTube short. New York Giants Outlook 2020. Everybody, be safe. Be good.
See you guys later.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.